Hey, what's up, Risers? Today we're going to be looking at Talladega. We're going to look at the Cup Series, Geico 500 real quick. Just wanted to show you what's live right now. We got the Xfinity Unhinged 300. Cheat sheet is up, projections, all the track history, laps led, fastest laps, recent form, weighted projections for DraftKings, balanced on DraftKings, FanDuel, and SuperDraft projections, odds, salaries, starting positions, confidence picks, MME, cash, and core categories. Okay, I'm going to close that out. I also have this exclusive sheet that I make for all of my Legends tier members. Less than $20, you get every single sport. You also get exclusive sheets like this if you're a Legends tier, and you end up getting all sports, all sorts of exclusives, my personal groups, exposures, personal MME exposure, that is, projections, everything, and that's specific to the Legends tier, which is less than $20. You get all sports, all content, all projections. Down below in the description section, hit that link, patreon.com/rise or fall. So let's look at the Geico 500. We're going to do two things today with this sheet also. We're going to look at it, we're going to create a player pool, and the second thing is we're going to dive into Fantasy Cruncher, and we're going to do our strategy for Talladega, which is complete chaos. The big one's coming at any time during this race, so we need to be prepared for it. Not so much projections, don't worry about those so much. It's how you group things together and what part of the race you're focusing on, and starting positions are huge. So we're going to look at those today, and we're going to talk about this race and just all its glory. It's chaos and it's fun to watch. Everyone kind of packs together, very wide, and you get all these cars jumbled up in the one big mess, and then you have a little crash and it turns into the big crash, and then you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people just all of a sudden gone, and your player pool is shredded to pieces. So we're going to spread out our exposure a little bit, talk about how many uniques you would use, and if you're hand building, we're going to talk about the differential positions that you're going to focus on, and not worry so much about the best plays, because the best plays are not the best drivers this week. We're going to worry about most on positioning and upside, and raising that floor on a slate and a race where a lot of drivers just don't have a floor. So we're going to do our best to try to find some. Now, when we are doing this stuff today, if you want to check out the Xfinity stuff, the sheet, the projections, and you want to see the strategy for Xfinity, go ahead down below in the description section. I've also dropped that in there. You can click that, watch that video, and I also have an MMA video down there. A cheat sheet for that. It's a fight metrics card. It's fight by fight with all their fight metrics. Cheat sheet involved, entire player pool, fight picks, prop bets, all sorts of good stuff. And that's on top of 16,000 average weekly messages in our Discord with our 215 members. That is a crazy amount of conversation going on, a lot of coaching, a lot of teamwork, working on strategy, lineup reviews, all sorts of stuff. Give it a look. If you're on a budget here, or if you're around the industry and you're just paying too much money and you're still losing, stop paying 40, 50, 60, 70 bucks a month for losing efforts. Come over here, check it out. Risers at 10 bucks or Legends at 20, and you can have a full year at 20 bucks a month. That price is locked in. Down below, description section, patreon.com/riserfall. And if you're here for just freebies, by all means, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. That helps me out just as much. All right, Geico 500. We're not going to be worried so much this week about the high-end drivers. They're going to be involved in our player pools for sure, but we're also going to have a fair amount of these back end of the drivers. So what we're going to do, and we're going to talk about why, is we are going to focus on drivers in the back half. And today we're going to put ones in there for this category, because when we upload it to FC, if you have them in ones, when we upload into the data section, it allows you to sort them. So I'm going to show you how to do that after we create our actual player pool. So we're going to do a rough one real quick, and then we will edit it like crazy. So a lot of drivers I want exposure to this week, and we'll take out people as we go along. So we're going to add everybody to start for the most part. We're kind of just not worrying about this middle section. And from here, I'm kind of going to just start taking out some of these drivers who I think have, just no shot here. Ones I'm worried about crashing. Okay, and, we're not concerned so much about the price, okay? The price of some of these drivers, irrelevant to me, because we're going to have a lot of money left over at the end of it. And, there's just some drivers, man, they just keep getting swept up in the muck and mire. All right, so this is a rough MME, and this is just going to be as an example, okay? And we'll do this as an example. That's a large MME pool, but we're going to go with more uniques. We're going to spread our exposure a little bit this week. It's really nutty, my friends. If you've never seen this race before, it's absolute chaos. So let's see how this goes here. Okay, so we have our player pool. We've got a risers category. We have an MME category. Let's look at it right now. So this race with all the crashes, how they all bunch up and everything, it's just chaos. You have to do stuff a little bit differently. You can see I have 3 different groups: 20s, back 10, risers, and an entire player pool projections for Xfinity. So let's load up. I'll do it live. Don't care. This is my 3rd video I've made in the last 13 hours, and I have projections for Bundesliga, KBO still to do, and I have to do the entire exclusive sheets for Xfinity and the Cup race this weekend, and I have to update my fight metrics now that they have a Camacho fighter. They've got someone to replace to fight him. Can't even remember who it was, so I've got to look up the fight metrics, adjust projections, exposures, and give all this content, and then dive into Discord and start coaching. So we're going one lineup, or we're going one video with minimal editing. All right, so we need to select our slate. We're going to 621. First thing we're going to do, uncheck all our players. Let's go to upload data. We need to add columns, so we're going to add core. All right, let's go. So we're going to go back. We'll grab the Geico 500. We're going to grab their names. Remember, this is a sample, my friends. This is not the final here, but this is a general strategy that will help you this weekend. We've talked about it a little bit. These projections, we do not care so much about projections this week. The strategy of where you're attacking and at what exposures you're attacking certain parts of this race and their starting positions, way more important than their actual projections. That will suss itself out as we get going here, and you'll see why. Let me show you, okay? Just bear with me. I'm going to do it live because that's how we make money together. I want you to also, it also helps to see somebody do it and go through their mistakes as they make them too. All right, so the reason why we put ones in there today, because you can sort this now. You can sort the MME category, the risers category. If they were X's, like on most sheets, you cannot sort. You've got to go in here and edit it yourself. So I did that for you. So watch. We are going to uncheck everybody. I'm going to go down to the bottom riser. I'm going to click. I'm going to drag up. It's going to grab all of them. Click this little arrow, add selected group, create new group, and this group will be risers. I want at least 2 of these drivers in every single lineup. So at least 2 enable. All right. Now I'm going to sort it by MME. It's going to show me the other drivers that I had involved, and I'm going to leave all these guys out. Again, this is sample. You might not want to take anybody out that's outside the top, probably 20. All these guys probably belong in there, but again, sample. All right. Can't give it all away for free. You know, I've got to save the juice for the legends and the risers, so I can't give it all away. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to... or we're going to click My Pool. It will give you 27. We're going to sort it by starting position. Now, I want to take out all of the top 20 drivers. We're going to leave the back half that I have selected, and we're going to create a group with them. We're going to hope the front end of this race just gets jumbled up early. The big one happens, maybe 2 big ones, and all of a sudden 10, 15 drivers are gone. The back half, they are just all getting massive differential points while the front half gets a bunch of negative points. And DFS owners are crying everywhere while you are just jumping up and down watching Brennan Poole in the top 10. So it's going to be that kind of race, my friends. All right, this will be back half. And we want at least 3 from this category in every single lineup. Now we'll uncheck them, and we will grab, let's go Blaney up, the front half, okay? They will be added to a group, whatever, we'll call them studs, front half, what am I doing? We'll call them front half, and we want at least 1, that's it. We could even say exactly 1. All right, we'll add back in everybody in our player pool. We've got our 27. We're ready to rock and roll. My projections, advanced options. I'm going to give these away. My finals, either 2 uniques or 3. Again, mass chaos this weekend. Projections, semi-irrelevant. It's more your groupings and how you attack and approach it. We'll calculate and see what happens. 3 uniques should give us a fair amount of exposure to everyone, which I don't want too high exposure on any one driver. You see it on most weekends. I'll have drivers up there 80, 85% owned in my core. That's just not a thing for Talladega. It's too chaotic. All right, this is what I want. I'm hoping for a weekend where 20 out of my 150 cash, but those 20 are, the nuts build. And I've got 1 or 2 of them that just screech up the standings. If you're playing this week and you're playing with hobby money, please don't go in there trying to make a cash lineup. Don't be trying to make money doing really smart, small contests like I always preach. Not this weekend, my friends. Go for broke. Every single lineup is chaos. If you're entering lineups, don't worry about the small stuff. Slap a single, if you usually enter those small 200-person things at $5 and $9, take that $9, throw it into the big NASCAR races for, a one single $12, $15 lineup and just sweat it out, have some fun. Or MME, a 20 max at the 25-cent level and just try stuff like this, right? And just have a little fun, have a little sweat, and embrace the volatility of the weekend because it's chaos. You got a guy like Ricky Stenhouse here as one of my highest exposed running backs. Can you tell I'm doing a lot of fantasy football content? So here we go. Let's take a look at these lineups. So like right now, I don't like it. I don't want 3 guys in the top 11, 3 guys in the top 9, 3 guys in the top 12. I do like the back half being there. So what we're going to do here is we are going to say groups. Back half, at least 4. We are also going to go back to the player pool and let's grab more of these back half of the drivers here. These crappy drivers. We're just going to add them in. Let's give it a rip. That's much better. See, now we have a 5th and a 12th. Elliott and Logano, 9 and 11. Blaney, 12. Harvick, 5. But look at this. Now we're focusing on 20, 24, 33rd starting position, 26th starting position. This is what I want. You could probably take it one step further and target the front half of exactly only 1 driver. And this is what that would look like. Unless we're just going to go through this so I can see it. You can do front half. Exactly 1. Let's look at these lineups. You're going to have so much money left on the table, my friends. I'm talking $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 left over in some lineups. And it's totally okay. It's totally okay. All right, these look a little bit better. 11 to 35, 20. This one has 12 and 15 in there. Nobody in the top 10. Yeah, this is a little bit nicer for me. And if you're like Mitch, that's not enough exposure. It's too spread out. It might be. It might be. We'll have to take a look at it. Let's look at 2 uniques. Let's see how it looks. See if we can tighten up this player pool a little bit. We still want to use all 30 players now, but we definitely want to have a little bit tighter pool. That's not what I want to see, though. Ricky Stenhouse, 99% owned. So you'd want to do 2 things for his projection. Number 1, you can click his name, and you can cap his individual projection. Or number 2, just lower his actual projection, and he won't pop so much in the optimizer. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you want my final player pool, you want the final strategy, my actual groups, my settings for FC, and then you want my personal, by the time I'm done, you want to see my final exposures, you want to see my ownership projections and things like that, by all means. You have to sign up, though. It's $10 for risers, less than 20 for legends, and that includes the 16K messages in Discord. By the way, let's take a peek at Discord. It is so hard to get to all of these questions. I have so many, but I get to them. And if you want to see how much discussion we have, you can just click something like this, FC, you search for it. And for all you Fantasy Cruncher users, 507 results. I think this goes back. This might be just for June. We talk about it all the time. And a lot of people are doing single entry at all times. We are doing single entry building. We're doing, 560 results. So a lot of single entry discussions. We're talking legends in esports, KBO. It's constant coaching. You can go to the esports channel. You're looking at people doing their reviews for their FC builds. They're talking about their contests they're entering, lineups being posted, exposure settings. Same things happening here in MMA. People are talking about all the different fights and where they are. PGA, we had showdown notes, picks. all sorts of stuff going on. The gift game is fun. Everyone's sweating together, and it's going to be an extremely fun weekend. Exclusive content is pouring out. We've got our links built in so you can see everything we always have. Discord's baller. You got to sign up, though. Patreon.com/rise or fall. If you're here for the freebies, just hit that subscribe button. At least poke that like button for me, and so, support a free content provider who gives out tons of daily videos. As long as you keep subscribing, as long as you keep hitting that like button, I'll keep doing this. I'll see you on the inside, my friends. Together, we rise or fall.